they were a bit fast and a bit big for regularity. So the committee got together and we thought, well, how do we, keep these fellas still here and coming? And we knew there was more cars being built. So we've decided to put them in a sprint category, which is not, essentially, it's not a race, but, they can go pretty much as fast as they can, but they've got to keep to their best times. And
passing and things are okay,
everything's just like normal, but these fellas are just running in a sprint. So, and what we do is there's no overtaking to turn 4 on the opening lap, which is this one. And then once after that, the guys are free to, have a go.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, thanks for explaining that, because I wasn't sure. I sort of knew, but maybe the public just didn't know how it worked. So I think they're underway now, yes?
Yeah, definitely. The Commodore VK that's running in second there at the moment, he's from Tasmania. That's a very quick car. He races a lot of basketball in Simmons Plains. So this is his first trip to Winton. So it's a bit of a HDT-inspired vehicle.
Yes, so you're colouring a bit like the unmentionable Marlborough colour, old Dylan team colours.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't have to say that these days, but I just did. But anyway, that's the way it is.
So, and then we've got Hayden Ivers is out there again with the Moffat-inspired Mustang, which is, everyone will remember that car here last year.
Yes.
So, the Nissan here is a local guy, actually, Shane McDonald, and he runs here all the time at Winton, and Shane actually sponsored this event, so he was kind enough to come on board with doing some sponsorship. He's a local mechanic in Wangaratta, I believe. So, and
because the Nissan dealer here for a while was Mike Glynn, wasn't he? Just from down the track a bit in the middle of town, but Mike went on to run Formula 5000s and things like that, but I haven't seen him for a while.
So,
anyway, as we said, the cars, one of your XCs is pulled off over there, the yellow one we were speaking about before.
Yeah, that's a Kev Bartlett-inspired car from, I think it's 73, 74, but I don't know what he's done there.
That's a shame, he's had to give it away.
Yeah, exactly. But the green's tough Dick Johnson car here, he's from Parks in New South Wales. That's his first time here as well. But and he's another one. He owns Parks Sprayer Barn, and he helped sponsor the event. So, but this is a fantastic looking car. Anyone that's here should go and have a look at this. It's really a classy bit of work.
And you've got other cars coming through, being built?
There's quite a few cars being built at the moment, Ron. So all around Australia, there's, guys that have, seen it here from last year and have thought, you know what, I want to get involved in this. So Graham Stevenson here with the Black XC hardtop coupe, he was one of our original regularity guys, and he helped get us on this path. So yeah, look, it's a shame it's come to a stop. It's a great car, so I hope David hasn't got
and that's in the John Goss colours, Kevin Bartlett colours.
Yeah, correct. So,
and of course, famous car 17, as you said, the Dick Johnson hit into the tree motor car. I believe that's the one.
Yeah, and I was speaking to Steve Blacksland that owns it, and he said Dick Johnson and Kevin Bartlett have both had a look at the car, and they said it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Reproduction of what they raced in the day, which is great. So,
now he's not on screen at the moment, but you were talking about the FJ Holden that's out there, that running Targa events and things like that.
Yeah, it was built by and a number of his colleagues, and they built that for Pan America in Mexico, and it ran over there in Mexico, Targa event, and he had that over there for a while, and they had some really good success with it, and he's brought it back here, and I think Dave's done it for him and his colleagues have done some work with it, a few track days, so it's a great car, and I mean, again, exceptional workmanship. If anyone wants to see our car, you know, a good car that's been built, you should have a look at that.
So the car we've got on street at the moment, that's next whole dealer team looking sort of colour, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that's the Paddy Kirby from Ballarat, and Paddy's, it's the Alan Grice and Win Percy car from Bathurst 92 or 91, sorry, and he's done the VN Group A there, and again, it's a really good car. So, and he was here last year, and he's just kept, you know, he said he's been a real promoter of the event and try to get other guys on board. Here's the FJ again. It's got the Aussie version of the Subaru, the Kangaroo on the rear.
Oh yes, I can see that. Yep. Nice bright yellow wheels. Very smart looking car indeed. As you say, got the Targa numbers on the side.
It's a very fast car too. It surprises a few people, I think.
It's great to see that sort of car out there, and something we don't normally see actually on the circuits. There's a few FJs and things getting into the Group N type racing, but good to see a bit of a hybrid type one running.
Yeah, exactly. So, got the Moffat Coupe again. So the car in front of it, the FIA EB Falcon, we sort of cut this category, you know, just at this point we've sort of cut it off at Bathurst 92 as a point of interest, and this car actually was a spare leftover DJR EB Falcon shell, and it was originally a saloon car, and then the current owner David Hoskins, he purchased it and turned it back into an EB supercar.
Yeah, it looks fantastic.
So, yeah, it's a
yeah,
great
my
thing.
word.
So this is his first time out in an event, I believe.
No, he's done a nice job. It looks good.
So it's still a carburetor. He hasn't gone over the board with fuel injection, but it's pretty
Still-
exotic, that sort of stuff from those
Probably
days.
still runs a normal sort of 8-manual gearbox. No,
Yeah, exactly.
no sequential gearboxes in those days.
So the Little Starion is fastest overall at the moment. So
Oh, that's Gibbs. Yes.
yeah,
Is that the Gibbs that was running the car
Yeah,
years
it's his
ago?
son.
It's his son. I was
Yeah.
going to say, yeah. Fantastic.
so they've kept
And
it
they've,
in the
they've
family.
kept the car all the time. They had it just sitting in the shed,
Yeah, exactly.
as you do. Saw an opportunity. That's good.
So
Just amazes me, really. You see it on Facebook. Somebody finds a barn find somewhere. And why hasn't someone else found it before? And why haven't I found it? You know what I mean?
exactly. So, and that's part of what we've tried to do with this is those barn finds that, you know, have sat in sheds.
Yeah.
The fellas are not wanting to give them a hard time in, you know, true door handle to door handle racing. This gives those guys a chance to bring those cars
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
This number 9 Boss 302 Mustang here, Darryl McDonald. He ran in regularity again,
Yep.
gave it away, thought didn't like regularity. He's come out, this is his first event, and he said, I'm back and I'm building a car. I said, what are you going to build? And he said, he's going to do a Sig Chrome Jim Richards Mustang, he's decided.
Okay, right.
Yeah, overnight. So, and one thing I like is we've got little cars too. You know, we've got a couple of little Escorts. So we did have a Corolla yesterday, but unfortunately the Corolla had an engine issue and it's had to pull out, but it was done in the Team Toyota colours.
Yeah, I saw him going back home, actually.
So,
Or back to town, anyway. So theoretically, you could run a ex-Group C Mini lookalike, couldn't you, in this?
well, that's exactly
Yeah.
right. Are you going to bring yours out or?
No, unfortunately, I foolishly sold a couple that I've had, but never mind. Someone else is enjoying them nowadays.
So, and then we had yesterday Ian Ross, who's a Group C competitor. He came and competed, and he was due to compete with these guys today, but Ian's had some issues, as we saw from Group C. Oh, the Falcons just, oh, gee, the EB's just gone off, and there goes the front splitter off that, unfortunately. He went there. I think there's been a few V8 supercars go off at that point as well, Ron.
Yes, I don't take too kindly to running into a ditch and plasticky bits all fall off.
Yeah, exactly. So,
They might even call it quits there, actually. How long have they got? Another few minutes. What, they have 15 minutes, have they?
Yeah, I think it's 8 laps.
Nine,
So
nearly 10 minutes gone. Oh, there's oil running out of the front of that too. I hope it doesn't go onto the track. I know it looks like oil though, actually.
I think he's parked it.
He's done the oil cut. So they might call it. I'll just leave him there.
Yeah, he's pretty safe there, I think. It'll be up to race officials to work that out. So, got the Escort here, number 63. Hayden Ivers here again in his Moffat Mustang. This is a great car again. If someone wanted to look at how Alan Moffat built a car with Carcraft back in those days, Hayden has gone to the extreme to make sure that this car represents what Alan had built, and it is a fantastic car. Down to the last nut and bolt, it looks just like the original piece. And
Well,
it's
actually,
quick.
he went out and had a look at my friend Ian Purvis's car, who was out the back here. And apart from the seats and a roll bar and a few other bits and pieces, it's very, very close. Sounds right. Okay. Yeah, so Ian was pretty chuffed with someone coming, having a look at his car and saying how good it was.
Yeah, and he was here last year, and it was fast last year. So,
Yeah.
yeah, he gave it a fair go in the wet last year, as we know. So, and he's not scared of having, a crack.
No, he cracked on pretty well.
He's got the Starion just behind him, which is, again, it's a great little car, that Starion.
Yes, I don't think he's driving it with as much verve as I've seen him drive before, but he's out there having a bit of a go.
Sure is.
And Brett, where's your next run with these cars?
Well, we sort of haven't got a race meeting, I suppose, organised, but, we are looking at Sandown Historics. So we'll see. We're obviously talking to the committee from Sandown, and we'll see how many cars we can get and where we can fit in with their schedule. That's what it really comes down to. So, but like I said, as more cars come on board, and I suppose this is a filler. We've got a lot of cars these days that are going into retirement, and these are a great way to let's keep our events growing.
Absolutely, yeah, it's good. There's a checkered flag now, so they've called that race. We've got a bit of clearing up to do before our next event, so
I'm sure that won't take long.
See Graham Wincup going by there in
that's
the
right.
ex-Bob Jane car.
Yeah, Graham purchased that car off Bob Jane, and he's built it inspired to what Bob Jane wanted, and it's a fantastic car again. Exceptional workmanship.
Yes, yeah.
And it's a beautiful thing. Here's Graham, an ex-sports sedan racer, quite famous in his own right.
My word.
Family, Jamie Wincup, family member. So, yeah, to have these sort of guys come along and sort of say how good this is, it's good for our events.
My word. As a good uncle, he should give young Jamie a bit of a whiz.
Actually, it would be great to see Jamie out here in one of these. I'm sure Jamie would get a shock at how hard his uncle's working.
Yes.
So,
Because the number 100, the green-eyed monster.
we've got Production Audio Visual and Technology sponsored this part of this race, and he's one of the drivers out there, Graham Stevenson. That's his company, I believe. So But it's good to see these cars out here, Ron. So, and they'll be here again tomorrow, obviously. They've got 2 races here. So,
Here's a couple of sponsors to help there is in PAVT Production Audio Visual Technology and McDonald Automotive as well for bringing that event. They're up at Tone Street in Wangaratta. So thanks, boys, for coming on board to sponsor the events. Okay, I think that brings us to a close with that particular one. And we should be having Alfa Romeos coming up very shortly. So thanks, Brett, for your input into that particular sprint race, Super Sprint Tribute Run number 1.
thanks, Ron. And
Good on you,
I'll,
mate.
see you tomorrow.
Okay, all the best.
I'm here with Steve Blaxland. He's got a Dick Johnson tribute car. Can you tell us a bit about your car and, you know, how you built it and where it come from?
Yeah, I started about 10 years ago. Was going to be a road car, and then started to build a track car. Had it running for 4 years, and been fixing it ever since. Yeah.
And you chose the Greens Tough livery. It's a pretty iconic car. Has Dick or Kev Bartlett seen it?
Yes, both those guys have seen it, and they've actually signed the roof here and on the other side. And Kevin Bartlett's been in the car at Leyburn Sprint. Yeah.
What'd they think of it?
Yeah, no, pretty good. They don't say too much, but yeah, I think they thought it was pretty good. Yeah. It's there's not many of these as race cars. That's the thing. There's plenty of road cars, but not many race car Green Toughs. Yeah.
And what's the driveline in this?
It's still a Cleveland engine, Jericho NASCAR box, 9-inch diff, Brembo brakes. Yeah, so it's a little bit better than in the day, but it's what you build these days. So yeah.
And you're part of the tribute category. What do you think of the class or the category here at Winton?
Oh yeah, it's good because most of us guys don't want to bash our cars up. We can't afford to bash them up, and everyone goes out there in a lot of respect, but we can all go and give them a fang and have a bit of play with each other. Yeah, it's good. And
your first time at Winton?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I've been trying to come for 3 years, but COVID and different things. But yeah, first time. It's good.
I saw you out there this morning. How'd you go? What'd you think?
Oh yeah, no, pretty good. Yeah, and I got down to some good times. So yeah, it's a bit of a tricky track, but yeah, it's a good track. Yeah.
No worries. Well, look, thanks very much, and I hope you have a great weekend.
Brett Florence is with me. He's going to tell us all about these beautiful-looking tribute touring cars.
Morning, Peter.
Welcome, Brett. I'm well, thank you.
Yes, we've got the tribute cars out here at the moment, brought to you by McDonald's Automotive from Wangaratta, at Lloyd's Fabrications from Ballarat, and then we've got Parks Sprayer Barn, and those guys are actually members of this category, which is great. But we see the first Commodore that went past is a guy, Peter Rao from, Darryl Rao from Tasmania. So it's a great car, very quick, runs an LS engine, and then you've obviously got the Porsche behind it, which is one of our regular guys. He's from Melbourne. It's one of the original IROC Porsches built for the series here in Melbourne.
Great to see the Porsche out there too, Brett. Sort of really good, beautiful.
Yeah, it's a great car, done to Danny Holmes. Colours from back in those days, which is fantastic. Great driver, and you know it's presented just beautifully. If you wanted to see some quality cars, go and have a look at those in the paddock.
Oh, absolutely. I will be going down having a good look a little bit later on. I want to get a bit of time and checking out some of the cars.
Maybe you could get yourself in one?
Well, I've got one at home, and I was telling you about that, a little bit of work on the BMW E30 and get that out and running.
Yeah, that'd be great. So these guys are doing a sprint, which is essentially a really fast regularity.
Well, basically it's qualifying.
Yeah.
So, which is it's good stuff because they can go as fast as they like. Regularity a little bit more restricted. With the sprint format, you can go as fast as you like.
That's right.
And it's the fastest time, so these guys are, whatever these cars can do, they're at their maximum. So it should be some pretty quick times. It'll be interesting to see what sort of times they actually do. Obviously, there's going to be different times and different drivers, and the cars are going to be at a different level. So, but the quicker guys will be, and they sound great.
Yeah, they sure do, don't they? And it's great because we've got a mix of small cars and big cars.
Yep. Good to see the Escort out there as well.
Yeah, which is great. Yep. We had a little Corolla done in team colours, Toyota team colours, but unfortunately had an engine issue on Friday, but he'll be back again. And but you know, a couple of these cars had a few issues yesterday, but overnight the guys have worked to get them back out here today, which is fantastic.
It's great to see the Coca-Cola Mustang out there, car 9, just going about his business, and also on screen is the car 17.
Yeah, it's a beautiful car. I did an interview with Steve Blacksland yesterday, or Friday actually, and he sort of went through the car, and it's still a Cleveland, runs a Jericho 4-speed, 9-inch diff, you know, upgraded brakes. But
Yep.
Gee, it's a great car. So
It takes you back in time when you see that livery, and you think, you know, sort of just transports you back in time momentarily.
it sure does, and you know, look, same with the little Bluebird. Like, I mean, Gibson Motorsport, you know.
Yeah, well,
iconic.
once they were giant killers in the day,
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
sort of the Nissan Bluebird come out, and George Fury and company really strutted their stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, we go back and you look at there's a little XU1 running around out there, and it's Graham Whincup. You know, and that car's sort of recently been finished in the last few years, and it's stunning. You know. Again, and it's a quick little car. So,
And it's good to see Graham out there.
yeah, exactly. So, you know, but, and then you've got, you know, we go right back to the Humpy Holden here from that Kim is driving, and, you know, he ran irregularity earlier, and here he is out here again, and he's having a ball.
Takes me back to what they call pre-EH racing back in the day in Calder and places like Sandown, and that sort of used to get about 20 or 30 of these the FX and FJ Holdens, or the 48 series, or whatever you want to call them. So it's great to see them out there circulating as well.
Exactly. And yesterday, you know, unfortunately, the EB Falcon DJR car had a bit of an issue, but, you know, those guys worked overnight and fixed it, and the jigsaw puzzle, putting that front splitter back together, it's all taped up, but he's back out there and again for another day, which
And
is fantastic.
we see a good battle on screen now between the Escort and the Humpy Holden, probably maybe running similar times, so obviously they're going to be running nose to tail.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then the VL Commodore, he'll catch up in a moment. It'll make a great three-way battle.
Now, what guys is the Humpy running at? What sort of mods in that particular
That
car?
car was built for Pan America Targa in Mexico.
Oh, okay,
It was
yeah.
built for that, and by Dave Ryan and his colleagues. So it was built for Targa racing. It's a triple webbed, essentially an XU1 202.
Oh, okay, yep.
In it, but it's a very quick car, exceptionally well built, and you know, it's really impressive.
Well, it's staying with the Escort, sort of.
Yeah, you're three-wheel through this corner here, which is unusual for a Humpy, but
We'll get a time on him and see what he's doing.
yeah.
As we see the Humpy on screen now, car 25. Britt, and what's he doing? A 147.
Which is not bad.
147. Quickest out there is Smith. He's doing a 139 in car number 8.
Which is the IROC Porsche. It's a very consistent
So
car.
that's a pretty quick time.
Yeah. And in fact, we've got one of the Group C regulars, Ian Ross. He's out here running his XD Falcon. He's cross-entered this weekend in both categories, CNA and the tribute car. So making the most of the weekend.
I think that's Dave Ramsey, isn't it, in car
Yeah, it
5?
is. Yep.
Comes from the eastern suburbs of Melbourne.
Sure does. He had a bit of an issue yesterday, but it's, again, he worked on a few things overnight, and it's back out here, which is really good. And it's a great car.
Yeah, well, he's
Johnny Goss and
yeah,
Marlins inspired.
he's running 8th. He's 8th quickest out there. What's Dave doing a 145, so he should be pretty happy with that. I remember when he first started, he got a little bit nervous when he was thinking he was running Group C or whatever it was, or he might have been running Heritage, I think, at the time, and he was a bit overwhelmed. But
Yep.
when he first started, but now he's on the pace and looks like the car's nice and regular, and yeah, not having too many dramas with it. Car number 05 on screen at the moment,
Yeah, it's car 51.
or 51 my
Yeah.
eyes.
Yeah, so he's coming into the pits by the look of it, so he might have an issue.
Oh, that's right. So because Dave Ramsey's is 5, so
Yeah.
if you've got a 5, bang a 1 on the side,
Yeah,
and you got
exactly.
either a 15 or a 51, and yeah, away you go. Our co-commentator Ron Simmons always used to have 111 or 111. If he rolled the car, they could still see what number it was. So he covered all bases
No, fair enough.
in his Mini.
Yep. Well, here's the Graham Win Cup's actually one. He purchased himself Bob Jane, and he's, built it to the colour scheme of Bob Jane. Oh, there's Dave. Unfortunately, Dave's come off.
It's called the commentator's curse. You give
just given it to him.
You give the bloke a bit of a rev up, and what's he do? He clags out. So well, we better not say nice things about any other driver. We might put the curse on them as well. So
exactly.
Hopefully Dave's no big dramas with Dave, and he can come out later on this afternoon as well.
Exactly. And car 50 here, the mobile car. That's a HDT mobile VK. It's Max McKay he's local to Shepparton, and that's actually in Donington European colour scheme.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's not the Australian colour scheme. A lot of people look at it and think, what's different about this? But
Yeah,
that's why.
That's interesting.
So he chose something totally different, which is great. So him and Graham are having a good tussle here.
Graham Wint, that's Jamie's uncle, isn't it, Graham?
Yeah, it certainly is.
Graham Wint Cup in the, as Brett was saying, in the ex-Bob Jane terrain, having a good battle with the number 5 mobile Holden Commodore. And what's Graham's time? We'll have a look on his Graham in car 7's doing a 1:48.
Consistent 1:48 actually, which is really good.
Yeah.
The guys are all pretty much the same. They're very consistent in their times, which is impressive.
Well, Smith's got the quickest with a 1:38.49. So in car number 51, we gave him a bit of a. Sorry, that's Smith's in car 8. Not
car 8.
That's Rails in 51. Commodore goes across the start finish line.
What's interesting in that, genuine Group C XD out there with Ian Ross is doing a 1:44, 1:42, and then you've got, Steve Blacksland in his XE Dick Johnson car, essentially the same car, and he's doing a 1:43 and a 1:44. So these guys are pretty consistent with the genuine cars, which is interesting, and it's great.
We just see the John Bow Dick Johnson car 18 on screen at the moment. Looking very, very nice indeed.
Yeah, it's a great car.
John's here this weekend, so a little bit of nostalgia for John.
Yeah.
Car 18, the FIA Falcon.
Well, this started out as a spare body shell from DJR, and it was turned into a saloon car. And then the current owner, John Hoskins, he purchased it and turned it into back into an EB supercar. So he had a bit of an issue yesterday, broke the splitter, and here it's the end of turn, it's pitch straight.
Okay. Checkered flag is coming out to end this. I thought they might have had a little bit more time, but
yeah.
Checkered flag is out as we saw the Porsche go through very slowly before, but on screen now is the car we're talking about, car 18. Beautifully turned out car. Is the DJR Falcon.
But I welcome anyone in the crowd to go down and see these guys and have a look at their cars. They are beautiful.
Are they all grouped together, or are they scattered around, or are they all pretty much
they're all
in the
grouped
pit?
together.
Oh, okay, so it's easy to come in and have a look, and
exactly.
You can see them all in one hit. Well, that'll be great.
So, and this is one of our growing categories, moving forward with the event, and keeping modern, I suppose. So it's great.
And it seems to be a growing category all the time.
Sure
so there's more and more cars coming along, and the quality from where I'm standing, I haven't had a good close look at it, but from a spectator's point of view, it's first class.
Yeah, exactly. So,
well, the time is Smith got the quickest time with a 1:38, so that's not sitting around. Sort of in car number 8.
No, he did well, didn't he?
So it was Smith, and then it was Raoul who in car 51, Commodore 1:39. So he wasn't that far behind, sort of. So they're out there scooting around, and Blacksland, McDonald, 40. What was Blacksland was a 1:40, his best time. McDonald's was a 1:42, his best time. Then Ian Ross 1:42. So there's probably half a dozen cars all pretty well close to each other, so they should be pretty happy with those consistent times.
Yeah, and that's what it's about. So
Ivers, Hayden Ivers do a 1:43, so He should be happy with that. The end of 143. Hoskins a 143, and they go down to the 144s. And Dave Ramsey, the man that you give him a bit of a build of, and something happens to the car. But Dave Ramsey in that lovely turned out two-door. What they do a 144, so he should be pretty happy with that, I think.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see you out here next year, won't we, Peter?
Well, yeah, sort of medical health problems go away, and no worries, I get that E30 up. I'd love to come out and sort of get stuck in it. All right, well, that was, thank you very much, Brett, for that. We'll see you a little bit later on this afternoon when the tribute cars come out and strut their stuff again.
No worries, thanks, Peter.
Not a problem. We'll have a little bit of a short break, and we will be back with some action pretty soon.
I'm here with Paddy Kirby. He's got a VN Group A Commodore, and he's running in the tribute cars. Can you tell us a little bit about your car, Paddy?
Yeah, Brett. Originally it was a rally car, and I found it in a paddock out near Ballarat from home, and decided it was just a rolling shell, so there wasn't much going on with it. So we decided to build it up and build a tribute car and come and have a bit of fun. So.
And you've chosen the HRT livery from Bathurst 90?
91, I think it was. They come second to the Godzilla car, Gracie and that. So, I just thought it was a good era to go with and pick that one. So, yeah.
And what's the running gear in this car?
Yeah, I've got a 304 that's now 355, 5-speed gearbox and a 411 difference for here at Winton. So, yeah, it kicks along pretty nice. Just need a good driver, that's all.
And the tribute class, what do you think so far?
Love it. Yeah, last year we had our first run here at Winton, and this year it's got bigger, really good blokes, and the cars look great. I think from the public last year, the response we got was awesome, and hopefully, it just gets bigger and bigger.
No worries. Well, thanks for your time, Paddy. Afternoon, Peter. We've got the tribute cars out again.
We certainly have, Brett, and it's good to see. I had a bit of a wander down to the pitch beautiful and checked a couple of cars out. Beautifully restored, or not restored, beautifully built. Probably a better word.
Yes, they certainly are. Most of them are running original type configuration. We've got the yellow coupe back out of...
I just saw David Ramsey car 5 go by, and we put the mockers on him, building him up, and he retired early, but it's good to see him back. What was the problem? Did you manage to catch up with Dave?
Yeah, it's a fan belt come off.
Oh, okay.
So he squared it up and he says it's all right. So hopefully this time round he'll be fine. So he's still running a Cleveland engine, and it's got a Cleveland engine with a top loader and a 9-inch diff. So traditional sort of setup on that car. So, and we've got Ian Ross, one of the Group C regulars. He's come back out again, so it'll be great to see those guys.
This is an eight-lap super sprint for the Tribute touring cars.
And 8 laps of qualifying, mate.
Basically, yeah. So once they get the green light to go, they will be in top notch, and won't be too long when they heat the tyres up and they bring themselves up to speed. They'll start to put in some pretty quick laps. The bottom line is a sprint. The fastest guy out there wins the event, so it's just like qualifying.
Yeah, it is, and we've got some guys that have come that, like I said earlier, we've got South Australia, the guy with the mobile VL, and Marty Reynolds, he's come all the way. David Rowell there with the VK-inspired HDT car, he's from Tasmania, and then we've got another fella from New South Wales. So guys have come a fair distance to be here.
They've come from far and near, and many thanks to those guys, because it's a big effort to load the car on the trailer or the transport or whatever sort of mode of transport you got and bring them to Winton. A lot of people, a lot of our international viewers here on Blendline TV are saying, where's Winton? So we better probably explain where Winton is to the folk who don't know it, especially to our international viewers. Winton's about 3 hours or so from north of Melbourne. Melbourne is the capital of Victoria, one of the states here in Australia. So it's a rural area, Winton. Beautiful spot at the base of the mountains. A Australian Divide.
It's currently 15.6 degrees, so it's a beautiful day here.
It is.
And these cars look fantastic in the sun.
Yeah, we're just coming out of our Australian winter, heading in towards springtime, and yeah, it's a lovely sunny day here at Winton in northeast Victoria.
So far, we've got Cam Smith in the IROC Porsche. He's ahead of Steve Blacksley and Shane McDonald. So they're our top three, and Ian Ross is into fourth. So
We just saw Hoskins, and we're still seeing Hoskins in the FIA, the ex-Dick Johnson tribute car 18. You see Johnson and Bow, two legendary Australian touring car drivers.
certainly are.
We do have John Bow here this weekend up here at Winton.
Not sure whether John had a look at the car earlier, but it's definitely a great car. And like I said, you know, it's an old DJR shell turned into a saloon car, so it's a bonus for him.
Absolutely.
And the little Escort behind it's a very quick and consistent car. Scott Graham.
Yeah, he's staying in contact too, so Scotty's really got car 54, pedal to the metal, putting a lot of pressure on the FIA Falcon as they go down the main straight here at Winton.
That's right, we've got obviously the other Dick Johnson inspired car, this green Stuff Falcon.
That's it. Car 17 just comes on screen now, heading in towards turn 3.
It's a cracking thing.
It's a beautiful turn, that car, very striking.
At least it won't go in the trees here.
No. We're just waiting for some times to come up, Brett, to see what's happening. It looks like it's Smith, car number 8's put down a 1 minute 40. And no doubt those times will get lower and lower as the event progresses.
That's right, with Shane McDonald's in second with a 142 and Ian Ross with a 143. Steve Blacksland with a 144. So
that's the car we're looking now, car 17. So he's running, what's Steve running, about fifth quickest.
yeah, he's fifth quickest. What is it? And then Hoskins is sixth and he's running 146. So it's a fairly quick Falcon. It's closely followed by Hayes Wright. He's there in the Moffat-inspired Mustang. Got the beautiful XC Coupe here of Graham Stevenson in the Federation Insurance colours that Alan Moffat ran in 77? No, 78, I think. 79.
77, 78, yeah. Getting pretty close, car 2. What sort of Stevenson done? He's on a 1 minute 50 in that particular car.
So Graham's still running 351 Cleveland, 4-speed and a 9-inch. So he's kept it sort of period spec. It's a big car.
It is. We've got a couple of. They've got a Commodore and they've got an Escort there. Sort of a bit of a David and Goliath battle. Escort car 63. And that's a Mason, what's he doing? A 147, car 63 on screen at the moment, followed by the Commodore.
And Pete Mason's a new guy to this year, so he was watching last year and thought, oh, I'll come out and have a run.
Absolutely.
So he contacted us.
As you see the HDD Commodore just slip up the side of the Escort. No substitute for cubic inches.
No, there's not one. Got Graham Wincup's XU1 here. We saw an interview with Graham a bit earlier, so it's a beautiful car. It's stunning and very, very well presented and constructed.
Yeah, Australian car, XU1 Tirana. Very successful race car through series production back in the day.
I believe this car was built to Group NC spec, but they just run it in this class at the moment. So
car 5 is on screen at the moment. We talked about David Rams in the Falcon, big 2-door coupe. which was also a very successful series production car back in the day.
Yes, and this was John Goss inspired with Kevin Bartlett. So I think it was 73 Bathurst they ran this car. I'm not quite sure, but there's a mobile. It's coming up on the mobile VK Commodore of Max McLeod from Shepparton, which is the Donington Park culling scheme.
Max McLeod from Shepparton. Shepparton is basically Winton's sister city, or Benella's sister city. We're probably a few k's out of a major provincial town here at Winton, which is Benalla, so we're about 10 k's out. Oh, something's no, there's David Ramsey's got a bit of a problem, car 5, a lot of liquid coming from the front of that car, so obviously could be a fan belt, or could be a water pump.
Exactly. I don't think we'll talk about that car again.
I know.
Put the moz on him all weekend.
Give him a build up on that, and all of a sudden he has a problem. So we do apologise to Dave Ramsey in car 5 for that. Car 50. David Ramsey's car 5, but we do see the 50 on the rear window of this particular car. So he's running. What sort of times is car 50 doing? Down in 11th, he's doing a that's McKay, he's doing a 1:45. Coming up on the back of Win Cup in car 7. Side by side, heading down in towards, going to have the inside running. No, it's going to be a side by side. This is a battle between the two Holdens, the Holden Tirana and Holden Commodore.
As you said, cubic inches has played out in that game. Not by much.
Not a great deal, the mobile Commodore. But Win Cup is really in the XU1 Tirana, staying right with the big V8 Commodore, especially through the twisty bits. Now there's a quick car just coming, car 8. That's Smith in the Porsche, and he's doing a 1:38. His quickest lap was a 1:38.08. At the moment, his last lap was a 1:38.7. So he's pretty on the money.
Yeah, he's very consistent.
He certainly is.
I was just saying earlier that maybe if there's some old Group S Corvettes or something sitting in a shed that no one's using and they want to have some fun, come out and have a run.
Bring them out. Bring them out. But the Porsche, a very quick little motor car.
This car was built to the IROC series from a few years ago, but the series didn't go ahead, and he's kept it in this guise.
It's good to see him out there running the vehicle. A 1:38. It's not sitting around the Winton layout here, the long track.
It's coming up on the Boss 302 Mustang of Darren McDonald. He's doing a 1:55.
Darren gives him plenty of racing room and slips through on the inside.
Cameron's about to come up on Taz Maurice in an XC Falcon, which was the colour scheme is from Bobby Morris. Citizen Watches car.
At the moment, we're riding with McDonald. Is it? No, it's not McDonald.
Yeah,
It's car 9.
This car's Stuart Jordan. He runs that in improved production.
Bit of a green-eyed monster.
Yeah, Stuart's also got a Alan Moffat XB coupe that he used to campaign with the Regularity guys, along with Graham Stevenson, who's in that Federation Insurance coupe. But that car's currently under a bit of a restoration, and once it's finished, he said he'll be back out. And it's again, you know, Cleveland 4-speed 9-inch car, so it's in the XB colours, City Ford colours.
So a good little battle going on, side-by-side action between the 4-door Falcon and the 2-door Falcon. Two different eras of motor racing.
It's good to see all these cars out here today.
It is. A couple of BMWs wouldn't go astray.
Oh, it would be fantastic. Little M3, I can see you here. By the end of the weekend, you'll be on the grid for next year.
I hope so. we'll make that the plan. As we see 100 just coming down there, car 100. Dearden, what's he doing? A 1 minute 44. Coming up onto a couple of slower cars. Looks like that's Stevenson that's slowed.
Looks like Patrick Kirby.
Is it? Someone slowed there on the start-finish line, just about.
Yeah, it's Patrick Kirby in the VN Group A. It's a shame it's come to a stop.
And that's not our fault, so we weren't sort
No,
of
that's right. Absolutely.
building him up at all.
No, she's one of our sponsors from Lloyd's Fabrications in Ballarat.
Stevenson's still going on his merry way. Car number 2, the Federation Insurance entry, looking very, very nice in its livery.
It's consistently doing 146 there, which is very consistent. But this category is not open to, or not closed to any brand or anything. It's open to everyone. So you know, the more the merrier. So, and what we're trying to do is keep the cars pretty period spec. You know, with a few limitations on modifications, but you know, in that way it keeps costs down
and you want something of good spectacle out on the track as well. You don't need, you know, someone's ordinary attempt to build a race car. It's car number 9. That's a nice looking race car.
Oh, it certainly
goes
is.
back to the era of Alan Moffat in the improved touring car days.
That's right, and Hayden's not shy on giving it a go either.
Where is he? Number 9 just on screen now.
Haven't got a time for Hayden Ivers there. I have, yes we do. 144, 143, he's consistently doing those sort of those times. David Rowell in the VK Big Banger car, he's jumped right up into the 141s from earlier.
Left-hand drive too, which is good to see.
Yeah, it's a great looking thing, isn't it?
We're talking about car 9 on screen at the moment, the Coca-Cola Mustang. That's good to see. It's a pity in our V8 supercars now, or supercars, that they've got the Coca-Cola livery on a Camaro, which doesn't seem right for some reason. It should really be on a Mustang.
It's very iconic to this thing. He still runs on old style tyres. He's not, you know, he's really kept it down to a period look spec, and he went to the nth degree to replicate a lot of the stuff on that car.
Yeah. So look at Hayden's car. It actually looks like it's number 9, but it's 91. Hayden's got a very small 1 alongside the number 9 because McDonald's actually got the actual number 9 in this particular event, but Hayden Ivers is running 91, the Coca-Cola Mustang. Looks like checkered flag is out to end this Super Sprint special for the tribute cars. And it looks like the Porsche, I think, Brett has got it with a 139, or 138, sorry, was the quickest time. And
yeah, he's done
he was
very
doing
well.
a 139 sort of continuously,
Yeah,
so
that's right.
he was quite consistent.
Yeah, and he's with Steve Blackslam in the Falcon with a 141, and Stewie McDonald in third with a 143, and then David Rao 142s, Stewie Dearden 141s. So yeah, those guys were pretty consistent.
They were consistent. Smith probably 3 seconds a lap quicker, so he's the benchmark. So everybody's got to up the ante to try and catch that flying Porsche.
We might have to put some weight in it next year and slow him down.
Well, yeah, that's the way to do it. Give him some ballast. That'll sort it out. We see, unfortunately, poor David Ramsey over in the midfield getting towed back to the pitting area.
Are you a motoring enthusiast? Shannon's are giving you the chance to win a trip for two to the 2024 Monaco Historics. The 11-day trip includes airfares, luxury accommodation, Monaco Historic Race hospitality tickets and $10,000 spending money for eligible Shannon's Club members. Plus, win the all-new Indian Motorcycle FTR Sport. Get 10 entries when you take out new Shannon's insurance on your special car, spouse's car, daily drive or bike, and 5 entries for new Shannon's home insurance. Call Shannon's on 134646 or go online today.